The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
Skywalking through classic Marvel. Skywalking through classic Marvel comics.
Long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there exists a state of cosmic civil war. A brave alliance of underground freedom fighters has challenged the tyranny and oppression of the awesome galactic empire. This is their story.
That was how Marvel caught readers up in each of the 107 issues back in the vintage era.
Hey, speaking of vintage era, I am Richard Wolosky, and I want to welcome you all to Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics. I am here to take you through these classic stories, share memories of reading this series as a kid, and to get you all caught up with these characters and situations that every Star Wars fan must know. Hashtag make Hoojibs canon.
Ooh. And I know what Hoojibs are because we've done these classic Marvel comics series. Now, my name is Sarah Wolosky, and on this show, this is the very first time I'm reading these comics. And this was a vintage comic series from 1977 to 1986. So I'll be sharing my new 21st century perspective on all of these issues, which is a real trip.
It is. And as we see, they're rolling in some of these characters and situations into the new films.
Ooh, yes.
And series.
It's fun to see the parallels come to life.
Yeah, so it's very good. This is like a classroom setting now. Mm-hmm. You must know these stories.
Now, in this particular episode of Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics, we will cover issue number 20, Deathgame, which is the third chapter in a 6-part story arc. Now, to catch you up to speed, though, we're going to recap the adventures from the previous issue number 19, The Ultimate Gamble. So here we go. Richard, do you want to catch him up?
Oh, I sure do. Now, the rebels are split up to avoid being captured by Commander Strom and his legion of stormtroopers. Luke is still unconscious, and Han and Leia battle stormtroopers until they are apprehended by the Wheel Security Force. Chewbacca runs into more danger as he is captured and made to fight in the Wheel's gladiatorial pits, and we discover Senator Greyshade's secret passion.
Ooh, not so secret anymore, Greyshade.
But in this issue, Commander Strom sets up another fake attack where a pleasure yacht is destroyed by an X-Wing. The attack is broadcast on the Wheel, where the patrons watch in horror at the viciousness of the rebels. Strom and Greyshade further their plot and their partnership. However, things don't go as planned in the gladiatorial battle arena. Meanwhile, Luke, who is under observation in the Wheel's hospital area, is now missing.
And also, Leia has a part in this issue as well, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Just don't blink or you'll miss her.
Now, the release date for this issue was November 21st, 1978, and it was written by Archie Goodwin. Artwork is by Carmine Infantino and Bob Wiacek, and the cover art also was by Carmine Infantino and Bob Wiacek. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of the cover art, let's talk about the cover. Now, with each issue that we do, we put the cover art out on our Facebook page and our Facebook group, and we love to hear what the Skywalkers have to say, because some of these covers, they just defy logic.
Indeed. So, and especially all of you now who are live on YouTube, if you want to comment on the cover art, please go ahead.
Yeah, we're showing all the SkyTubers right now. All right, now, for those of you who can't see it, let me explain it to you. R2 and 3PO are watching a giant monitor with a green and pink alien by their side, and on the monitor is a lumbering reddish alien with 4 arms, each holding dagger thorns. And 3PO says, "Captain Solo is doomed, R2, and there's no way we can help him." I do a horrible 3PO. That's just terrible.
I didn't say it.
Now, I'll start with my comments here.
Okay.
As a kid, I never liked this cover. Never. The lumbering alien and the pink alien and the green alien just never felt like Star Wars to me. So that took me right out of it. And how is 3PO standing where he's standing, where he can lean into the panel? It's like he's like triple jointed at his waist. So
okay.
Look how he's bending in there. I don't know how he's doing that. And R2, he's not even watching the monitor. He's looking at the reader going, I've got no idea what's going on with this. This is not Star Wars to me. So, Sarah, what do you got for this cover art?
All right. Well, for me, what grabbed me right away was little Han Solo there laying down, and it made me think of Sleeping Beauty, honestly, because he's lying in this like cloud, this fluffy cloud of things,
this moss cloud.
Yeah, and but he does also look to be in dire straits, but like he's Sleeping Beauty that needs rescuing. So that was my initial impression. And then from there, so my eye went straight to that middle, right? That panel. And then from there, I realized that I wasn't looking at the full picture of the cover. I was actually looking at a monitor. And then I saw that R2 and 3PO and the aliens were watching this monitor as well. So I think, honestly, this cover really tells a story. You see Han about to be skewered first, and then you realize that 3PO, R2, and the aliens are all watching this screen, and that's the story of what's going to happen in this issue. And it's finally the event that we were promised in the previous issue, the ultimate gamble.
Nay, Deathgame.
Yeah. So I honestly I liked this cover. So you didn't like this as a kid at all?
No, because it doesn't feel like Star Wars. You have this, they all look like Star Trek aliens.
Okay.
This reddish thing and the green thing and the pink thing. Mm-hmm. They just didn't have that classic Star Wars feel to them. Okay,
I think I just liked that Han Solo was the focus.
You'd think at this point, the artist would have enough reference where they could go, hey, it's a green alien. Maybe we'll draw a Rodian, or back then, a Greedo, or we'll make this alien over here look like something we've already seen before and pull people in.
Okay.
That didn't happen.
All right. Well, I think we should share comments from our live YouTubers and from our Facebook group. So, Richard, do you want to take one of these comments on?
Yeah, I'm going to read what Kenneth Crayley Jr. has got to say on YouTube. A lot of these early Marvel Star Wars covers had some odd choices. Yeah, exactly. Which is why we love to point them out on Facebook and let everyone comment on them, because your comments are really funny.
Yeah, they're gold. In fact, Clover Nikon and Michael McLean, they are seeing Mortal Kombat analogies in this particular cover. And Michael says he sees Goro. So who's Goro, Richard?
He is a four-armed
combat character?
Yeah, I know nothing. I know just as much about Mortal Kombat as I do about sports.
Okay. Yeah, and Clover even went so far as to Photoshop Goro over that alien who's holding the daggers in the Facebook thread. So that's really fun.
Really fun and very creative.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's right. Goro does look like this alien that's attacking Han Solo, but they never name him. Why not give him a name? Now, Reynold Gobet, he says, a guy can't take a nap on a cloud of marshmallows without being attacked. There he is, has Han napping on a bed of green marshmallows.
Indeed. And Lori Lazat has my favorite comment here, which is what I got out of it. Looks like Sleeping Handsome instead of Beauty, and looks like R2 and 3PO are watching TV. But yeah, that's what I totally got. It's like Sleeping Beauty.
Now, if you look over here to the left, it says Disney Plus.
What?
So R2 and 3PO are watching Disney Plus.
Oh.
They were thinking ahead. They were thinking way, way ahead.
That's not true.
Yeah, asterisk. That did not happen.
Vince Lewis on YouTube says, kind of He-Man-ish is what his impression of the cover is.
I think he's referring to Luke up in the upper left-hand corner.
Oh, yeah, he totally looks like He-Man.
Now, Brian Babcock says, this comic came out a year and a half after the movie. Why is Luke still shown with a red lightsaber? I wish we could answer that for you there, Brian, but we can't. He still's got that red light. Paint it blue. Any color but red. Yeah,
or pink-ish, kind of. But
right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you know what? Let's get into our initial thoughts on this issue now, because I'm just waiting to dive into this.
Okay. All right. So if you're waiting, Richard, let's hear your initial thoughts first.
Okay. Like last time, there is way, way, way too much time spent going over what has already happened in the previous 2 issues. And I know we've talked about this before, but I just wish they had some kind of a Star Wars style scroll to explain everything. That way we can be off and running.
Okay.
But I know this comic is for the 7 and 8-year-olds, which is what I was. I was 9 and I didn't want to read, so I probably wouldn't have read the pre-roll. But get a pick between 2 evils here, okay? What's the lesser of 2 evils? You can have all these word bubbles explaining everything, or just put it in 3 paragraphs and let us be off and running with the action. Because every page is like, okay, we've been here, we've done this, we get it, we know. So
Yeah.
I felt it was a slower issue. And like we were saying earlier, this is the 3rd issue of a 6-part arc.
Okay.
So it's going to have to start building from here.
Yeah, and I see where you're going with that, because having read some newer comics these days, like the recent Captain Marvel comic, I think it came out in 2016, is really incredible. And yeah, they do have like kind of that scroll that like, oh, this is a recap, this is what happened in the last issue, and then bam, you're moving on for the whole issue into a new story.
Well, the new Star Wars comics do that.
Yeah, that too. Okay. I just recently read Captain Marvel, so that's on my brain.
It still really isn't clear why the Empire wants to take over the big wheel, which is like the big Las Vegas structure in space.
Right.
You know why it's called the wheel? It's shaped like the wheel.
It's shaped like a big
It
wheel.
is shaped like a
with
big
spokes.
giant wheel, exactly.
Yeah. In fact, we get to see some of these spokes in this issue.
Now, we learned that the Empire's got a pretty good thing going. The wheel makes all these profits, and the Empire comes in and takes a big chunk of it, and the wheel's patrons know that the Empire's going to stay away from us because they know this is cash on the table.
Right.
And the more they leave us alone, the more customers it will attract and spend money there because they know they won't be bothered by the Empire. I'm not sure what.
So why does the Empire want to take over?
They got a good thing going here. It's passive income.
Okay.
So what's up? We still don't know that just yet, and I wish at this point we did know a little bit more about that. About the motivation.
Okay. All right, so for my initial thoughts, I initially thought it was kind of an exciting issue. I didn't mind the recaps so much, although now that you mention it and I'm thinking about it, I guess there was a lot of recapping going on. But because we do these once a month, for me it's kind of helpful to do a recap. But yeah, I just don't know how kids wait a whole month in between these stories because so little happens in each issue. It's like they're little stepping stones. And you feel like you're getting to this big climax, but it still doesn't happen. So, like, in this issue, it's like, okay, now we're going to have the ultimate gamble, the death game. And you got a little of that at the very end, but it just was so short.
Yeah. Once again, blink and you're going to miss that one too.
Yeah. So that's my first thoughts on that.
Because out of 17 pages, about 14 are recaps.
Yes.
Now, Kenneth Crayley Jr. also said on YouTube, I like it when comics have recaps of the previous stories, and they are confusing when they don't have them.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good point, Kenneth, too. Yeah.
Instead of wasting panels and pages with all this, remember when we did this? Oh, yes, and then you did that.
Right, and then they'll have a little asterisk that says, oh, see previous issue number, blah, blah, blah. Archie.
Eric Warren just jumped in. Every issue is someone's first issue.
Oh.
Put at the beginning of the story, issue 3 of a 6-part story arc.
Ooh, that would be good.
Then someone would know, oh, wait a minute, hold on, I've got to go get the other issues.
Captain Marvel does that.
Well,
there's like the story
perfect.
arcs. Yes.
And if you're going to jump in at issue number 3, then you're the one taking the risk, not the other millions of kids who've got to sit through all of this expositional dialogue of stuff that we've already read about.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, now let's get into the story, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
Now, the story opens up just as an X-Wing blasts a Rularian pleasure yacht into smithereens.
Yeah, as we saw at the beginning of this story arc in The Empire Strikes, the Empire has been faking these attacks from the rebellion so that the Empire, led by Commander Strom, can start infiltrating the wheel and take over. So think of it as kind of paralleling the storyline in Star Wars Resistance, the TV show, where the First Order is manipulating the pirates to attack the Colossus so that then the First Order can come in and act like they are protecting the Colossus and manipulate Captain Doza into thinking he needs them, the First Order, to protect the Colossus from the pirates. So that's very tricky. Very, very tricky.
Is this what they call the ring theory?
No, it's a different theory.
Okay, I've got no idea what the ring theory is, even though I heard it explained a million times. I still
Well, it
don't.
has to do with the myth structure and
Right.
repeating itself.
Okay, well then it's more like George Lucas's analogy of symphonies repeating the same phrases in a
symphony.
A symphony, right. That's not what Resistance was doing.
No.
They didn't read this story arc and go, wait a minute, we got a great idea to how to kick off this new Star Wars animated series. Even though Dave Filoni should have read all these comics by now. That would be great if they did start doing that. Let's start bringing this into canon.
Oh, that would be fun.
All right. Now, inside the wheel, patrons are watching the destruction and can't believe what they are seeing. This rebellion X-Wing is destroying a pleasure yacht. Why? Well, of course, we know that the Empire has been manipulating fake news into making everyone believe the rebels are the bad guys. And a green alien says, how could they do such a thing? This isn't an Imperial installation.
Is that a Yoda alien?
He's green.
Oh, okay.
So, yes.
Okay. Well, just then, on the monitor, everyone sees that 2 TIE fighters zoom in and blast the X-Wing into oblivion.
And no, look at these TIE fighters. They have the bent-in wings like Vader's ship.
This is something I don't notice. You notice the ships.
And I'm sure Vader's like, hey, guys, what's up with this? I'm supposed to be the only one with this TIE model, this TIE Advanced.
Yeah.
Well, I see 2 other ships out there. Who's responsible for this?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, now this is something interesting that I did not know. Watchful and Harmonious Subscriber says on YouTube, back in the day, they used thought balloons till Brian Michael Bendis did away with them when he came to Marvel. So obviously Han Solo fighting that green alien at the end of this episode, it's like full of thought balloons. And, and so, Brian Michael Bendis would have gotten rid of those. So thank you, Watchful. That was good.
Yeah, way too many inner dialogues.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Now, the panel of the TIE ships destroying the X-Wing is beautiful. Let's go show everybody up on YouTube there.
That is really nice.
That is a beautiful. That's one of those panels, if they had made that into a framed print, I'd definitely be buying that one.
Yeah.
Look at that. I can see that being sold at Michael's or Joann's. That's just beautiful.
That is.
And Angel Feliciano says, how are we supposed to know what the characters are thinking?
Actions speak louder than words.
If you're right in the middle of this action sequence, you don't have 15 inner monologues going on. That's just for the benefit of the reader.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Now, we cut to Princess Leia and Senator Greyshade, and they're still arguing from the last issue. Boy, Leia loves to argue.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what she does best.
Yeah, look at all these guys she's got around her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame her. And then Leia kicks over the dinner table.
That's right.
And she says,
as Wheel Administrator, I thought you'd fight the Empire's scheme to fake rebel attacks so they'd be justified in taking over this place and all the wealth it brings in. But that ugly charade we just witnessed proves you're going along with them.
See, Leia knows better. Let's show everybody this panel as well up on YouTube. Look at that. Leia kicking over that dinner table. You can tell it's a really powerful kick because there's a red and yellow starburst coming from her foot.
That's right.
That means a lot of energy.
That means boom, crash, bang.
And pew pew.
Oh, there is no bam here. There's no
sound
there's
effect.
no sound
title.
effect. That's very sad.
Oh no. Someone's taking a vacation over there at Marvel. And then Senator Greyshade comes back with, it's nice to see that beneath that sometimes glacial exterior, you're capable of a truly emotional outburst.
Wow.
Oh, he went there. He went there. And as Greyshade is instructing his servant droid to clean up the mess, we see that Leia is hiding a dinner knife.
Oh, no.
And Leia is like, oh, no. And then Senator Greyshade comes back with, it's nice to see that beneath that sometimes glacial exterior, you're capable of a truly emotional outburst. Wow. He went there. He went there. And as Greyshade is instructing his servant droid to clean up the mess, we see that Leia is hiding a dinner knife. behind her back.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she's got some plans. She's going to shank the dude.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so then Greyshade leaves and descends into the wheel and gets to his airflow car.
Now, look at this panel right over here. He's walking into his airflow car, and it's a vacuum tunnel. And the way the cape is being flown off his back, you would think that the suction would also pull him into the tube as well. And I know they do that for a dynamic expression, and it does look like it's very dynamic. You see his Doctor Strange cape flowing in the breeze.
Right.
But you would think that would also choke the life out of him, too.
Ooh, yeah, if it's not attached properly.
Yeah. Back to the story. The driver droid addresses Greyshade as administrator. But Greyshade says that he likes his old title of senator, even though the Emperor dissolved the Senate. So he wants to be called senator, not administrator. Do you know why?
No.
I got no idea either.
Okay.
Or you know what? I just thought of this. Maybe it keeps him closer to Princess Leia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's the 1 degree away from Leia.
Okay.
Even though the Emperor said no more Senate.
No, I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
I made a note. Why does he say that? But just figured that out. All right, now, Greyshade meets with Commander Strom, and they rehash their new partnership for pages and pages and pages.
Yes. Oh, this is what was weird to me, is this issue, it's half the issue is characters we don't know. I mean, well, they're not the characters that we've been following, like Leia and Luke and R2 and 3PO. They're Greyshade and Strom talking about this relationship.
Their new partnership.
Yes.
And as we found out in the last issue, Greyshade has got a little thing for Leia and wants her left alive when the Empire finally takes over. They can kill the rest, or he's going to help the Empire kill the friends, but he just wants Leia to be kept alive.
Right.
And Greyshade assures Strom that Luke, Han, and Chewie will not survive since they know the Empire's been faking the attacks. Because remember, the Millennium Falcon picked up that one floating rebel pilot,
right,
who was framed for attacking the tag ship.
Right, that was the very beginning of this arc.
Exactly. And that rebel pilot managed to tell the group, Han, Leia, and Luke, that the Empire has been faking these attacks, and they're framing it on the rebellion. So Strom knows that their friends all know about the Empire's secret plan. So
right.
we gotta do away with these people.
Right. Yeah, so it's pages and pages of recapping. What don't they mention?
What's going on with why the Empire wants to take over the wheel?
Exactly.
the one piece of information that we need is not there.
Yeah, and then Strom also mentions that the droids are waiting to have their memories flushed, and then they'll be melted down into slag.
All right, hold on. Why bother flushing their memories if you're just going to melt them into slag? Just save a step and melt them into slag.
I guess so, but this issue, it needed time so that our guys can escape, right? Our good guys?
But how did he become such a high-ranking Imperial official if he's wasting time like this?
Oh, that's a good point.
All right, with that, I think this is a good time to stop for a commercial break, brought to you by Hostess Twinkies.
This is Twinkie the Kid. Ever wonder how they get that creamy filling into the middle of a Twinkie's cake?
All right, Sarah, what is this full-page Hostess Twinkie ad? What's it called?
So it's called Iron Man in an Irresistible Force. Now, one thing about this ad, it doesn't look like an ad.
No.
It looks like another page of a comic book. And that's exactly what it is. It's like Twinkies are kind of stuffed into a comic book little story.
You know what you call that?
What?
Product placement.
Oh, yes. Okay. So let's go through this story here. All right. A gang of robbers are on their way to knock off the Van Ness mansion.
You mean the one in Van Nuys? The one right by Sherman Way?
Now, I thought they were knocking off Iron Man's mansion. No?
No.
Do they say the Van Ness mansion?
The Van Ness mansion. Van Ness is
God.
a big street up in the valley, up in the San Fernando Valley. I don't remember any Van Ness mansion up there.
No. But regardless, they get to the mansion. They're in this one big car, and only Iron Man stands at the entrance. However, the robbers think they can barrel him over in their convertible speedster with battering ram.
Wrong!
The car is mangled, but Iron Man, for some reason, tosses them packs of Hostess Twinkies. And instead of then going on with their robbery, robber number 1 says,
I was just ready for a snack.
robber number 2 says,
I guess that wraps up my career in crime.
and robber number 3 says,
Maybe we could trade the car for some more Twinkies.
the end. Oh. So Twinkies have the power of turning robbers good. It looks like Watchful and Harmonious and Eric Warren both loved those Hostess ads and missed them. Hostess Marvel ads, which they are very quaint.
All right, you know what? I gotta say, it is a guilty pleasure.
They're really funny. And okay, so at the end of this ad, did Iron Man wrap that metal car around the robbers?
Yes.
Okay, the panel was kind of hard to see.
It took me about 20 minutes of staring at it. It's like one of those paintings that if you stare at it long enough, a zebra will pop out. This time you can see, okay, Iron Man did wrap their big, giant convertible around the robbers. And you know what? They don't care.
They don't care. They were eating their Twinkies.
No, they're like a honey badger in there. They don't care. They want to eat their Twinkies. That's enough to change their mind and their future in crime.
Indeed. And Angel says, who wouldn't stop a crime for a Twinkie break?
You know what? You got a point there.
You do?
You do have Twinkies are really good.
Now you just have to try deep fried Twinkies.
Oh. You know what? That is a treat that you need the whole Avengers to advertise. Yeah, that's way too powerful for just Iron Man to do by himself.
Yes. Wow. All right. Well, thank you. That was a really fun break. Thank you, Hostess Twinkies.
Hostess Twinkies cakes, fruit pies, and cupcakes. Yahoo! The fresh snacks with a snack in the middle.
And now, back to classic Marvel Star Wars comics, issue number 20, Deathgame.
We come back in, and Han is being tested in preparation for the big gladiatorial event. So it's not the event yet.
No.
He's being tested.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get this guard asking him questions. What's your favorite color? What kind of blaster do you use?
What's your strengths and weaknesses? Yeah, so they
can... like long walks on the beach?
So they can see who they could pair him up with, right?
Right, and they'll release all this information, so the bettors down in the casinos on the wheel, they'll have something to use in placing bets.
Right, like how... Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Right, then Han is outfitted and brought to the arena where he immediately goes up against this big 4-armed alien that we saw on the issue's cover.
Yep.
And I was hoping that they would give this alien some backstory.
Oh, no.
Spoiler alert, in the end, Han's gonna best him.
Well, yeah.
So I wanted to know maybe what his name was, why he was there, just so we can have more of a connection with this guy. Because if he gets killed, so what?
So you wanted to see Thor Ragnarok.
Exactly. And Han say,
Hey, we know each other. He's a friend from work.
Yep, exactly. Well, okay, so the alien now is not red, like on the cover. He's pink. I love it. And he kind of looks more like a rhinoceros.
Yeah, he does. He looks nothing like he does on the cover. But Han doesn't have 4 arms, but he's got a power shield with a spike in the middle and a power mace that has a spiked ball, like a mason chain, but it's a club with a spiked ball in the end. And Han identifies that the alien, or as he calls him, a living windmill. Now, hold on. That's pretty funny because he's got 4 arms. I like that line, okay?
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah. Now, the big 4-armed alien, he's holding these dagger thorns, which have a venomous sap in them, and one scratch is enough to kill you. Now, Sarah, go ahead and look at page 11. What do you see on page 11 as Han is facing this big creature? Well, show everybody on YouTube.
What do you guys see on YouTube, you guys? I see Han's ass. And yes,
that
I just said that.
That is a butt shot if I ever saw one.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I knew you'd like that one.
Mm-hmm.
I made a note there just for you. Now, during the battle, Han is having lots of inner monologues and goes over the exposition that got him to the wheel in the first place.
Yes.
I know we want to know what he's thinking, but way too many inner dialogues with complete sentences.
Wow.
Most people would be like, What the heck? How did we get here? What's going on? I can't do this.
No, he's got sentences like, so instead of a safe port, I find my ship confiscated, my friends captured, and the Empire just waiting to pounce. Some days you can't win. And he's like winking at the camera. What is this? He's like winking.
Even Han knows. I know, guys. It's really extraneous, but just run with me here, okay? Wait, hold on. The Watchful and Harmonious says on YouTube, Honey got back. And Eric Warren says about Han's butt, that's bulbous. You're very, very true. But as you can tell, Han likes to work out his buttocks.
Gluteus maximus?
Or his buttocks.
Yes, that works. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Wow. So yes, lots of expositional thought bubbles going on. Woo! Yeah.
Now, Han cracks the alien with a wham! And he sees that he just broke his power mace on the creature's head. Mm-hmm. And the alien then kawoods Han with a powerful kick to the chest that sends him flying. It's kawood.
There it is.
I'm not sure a kick would make that kind of a sound.
Oops.
More of a thump.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut to the casino where the patrons are all watching and betting on the big game. And Greyshade and Strom are also watching in the Royal Lounge. Of course they are.
Of course, yeah. Now, during all of this, a technician enters the droid holding area with a memory flush unit. And 3PO tells the tech of the mistake since they are just there until Han can buy them back. Yeah.
Take a look at this panel right over here.
Okay.
3PO has got his fists all balled up like he's ready to pounce on this guy. Look at this. Check this out. Look at that. That's probably the best 3PO we've seen in all 20 issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be afraid of this 3PO.
But his face doesn't look like 3PO.
No, it doesn't.
Not at all.
I just like how he's got his fists all balled up. Like, okay, come one step closer, and I will send you to the spice mines of Kessel.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Right, just then, Greyshade's droid comes in and tells the tech that R2 and 3PO must come with him for a study and saves them from losing backstory from 5 films, the holiday special, and the Ewoks and Droids Adventure Hour. So it's one of those save you at the nick of time, at the 11th hour. They're saved.
Right. Now, okay, this is a very interesting plot line to me. So Master Com, which is the droid of Strom, right?
No, Greyshade.
Greyshade's droid. Master Com tells 3PO that he's fascinated with his initiative on behalf of his young master, so he wants to observe them, which is why he saved them. So he saved R2 and 3PO because he wants to observe them. This is why he saved them. Okay. Suddenly, an alarm has gone off in the hospital area, and we see that Luke is gone. The restraints have been busted, and the locker where he kept his shorty robe has been forced open.
Oh, not the shorty robe.
Yeah. Woo. Okay, and next, blink and you'll miss her, but we see Leia. She's hot wiring a circuit board and talking to herself a lot while she does this. The door to the room where she's being kept prisoner springs open, and she escapes, with an inner dialogue about how R2 could have done that without all the pyrotechnics. But it looked cool in a comic,
It did, but we just didn't need that inner dialogue. We get it.
I do appreciate Leia's initiative here and the fact that she just, took matters into her own hands.
Right, but Leia, just go. Stop talking to yourself. Just go.
Now, this is the part where I find confusing. Master Com, we cut back to Master Com now. He finds the persistence of the droids' friends interesting, especially the princess.
Ooh, Master Com's got a little something for Leia as well.
Mm-hmm. He also knows that she will run into Greyshade's top security force and leaves to inform Greyshade.
But hold on, how does Master Com know that Leia set off the alarm? Because he likes the way he likes the initiative of R2 and 3PO, and he loves the initiative and the perseverance of R2 and 3PO's friends, Luke, Han, and Leia.
Right.
And this happened. He says this right after we see Leia has tripped the alarm and has gotten free from the room where she was kept prisoner. Mm-hmm. So it's implied that Master Com knows that Leia did all this.
Yeah.
How?
I'm not sure how, but
Maybe he read ahead in the comic.
But what I don't understand is Master Com had saved these droids to observe them, and then now goes running off and leaves the droids to their own devices. But before he does, Master Com tells 3PO and R2, "You must proceed without help from me. So, let me go on record as advising you avoid the crowded casino area. You might easily become lost amid the many droids running errands and placing bets for their masters now that the big game has started."
Okay, so R2 and 3PO, do not go into the casinos, okay? Do not go into the casinos. You got it? You see the casinos? Do not go near them.
Well, see, I think he's saying this rather like, I want to go on record as advising you not to do this. I'm not going to tell you
he's
to
a
do
droid.
this.
I don't think he's got that sarcastic way about him, but he got that wink wink nod.
He's
nudge,
a droid.
nudge.
He's a droid, but a person wrote this comic. And the person was thinking in that tone. So immediately you smash cut to R2 and 3PO in the casino because they followed the droid's non-advice.
Okay.
That's what I got out of it.
All right.
I immediately got that, but you think that's weird?
I saw maybe that they were writing this comic. They ended up on the panel where Master Com says to R2 and 3PO, "Do not go to the casinos. It's 5 o'clock. Let's all punch out. Let's pick it up in the morning." In the morning, they all come into the offices and, "What are we doing?" "Oh yeah, we need R2 and 3PO in the casino." And they just didn't look back into what the story had already told them.
Okay, but you do have to read all these bold letters. It's just that's what sold the tone for me. You must proceed without help from me. So let me go on record as advising you avoid the crowded casino area.
Okay, you know that works too.
That was my take.
Okay. Now, in the next panel, we see an almost recreation of the issue's cover, which never happens in this series. We have awesome covers, but they're never replicated within the story.
So wait, Han is sleeping on his cloud? Mm-hmm. On his pink cloud? Although, in this panel, it's an orange? Yellow?
More of a yellowish orange, but on the cover it's green. But we still have the same composition with the alien lumbering at him and R2 and 3PO looking on the monitor with the aliens looking on. So we never see that. We never see the issue cover as a panel inside the book. So I thought that was very, very interesting. I liked how they did that.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, the groggy Han, he reaches for his power shield and limply throws it at the alien. And it makes contact with the metal studs in the alien's boots and causing the alien to fall. So I'm guessing there's some kind of electrical current.
Okay.
Because it's a power shield.
Oh, right. So if it hits something metal.
Yeah. So it just zapped him and the alien just goes down. He face plants.
Mm-hmm. With a whoom.
And a whoom. And when the alien rises, he realizes he had stuck himself with one of the dagger thorns.
Oh, no.
Now, at this point, it's like, all right, I don't really care because we don't ever get a chance to meet this alien.
Right.
And before the alien can succumb to the dagger's venom, it lunges at Han, ready to strike with another dagger, but Han deflects it with a well-placed rock, and the alien goes down.
Thank you, Rock.
Even Han realizes, hey, this is a well-placed rock. I'm going to use this.
Oh, Jack Jones brings up something fun. So basically, it's a Captain America move with that power shield.
Right.
Very nice.
Then we cut to the Royal Lounge. Strom turns to Greyshade and says, "Greyshade, you smooth-mouthed fumbler!" What went wrong? What went wrong? The fact that you called me a smooth-mouthed fumbler.
Wow, that's hard to say.
All right, I'm going to go on record by saying that is the best insult ever.
But it's hard to say.
It is. Smooth. It is.
You can't even say it.
Smooth-mouthed fumbler.
Smooth. Oh my gosh. You guys try to say it. Smooth-mouthed fumbler. Smooth-mouthed.
Smooth talker.
Yeah, it should be smooth talker, says Watchful. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So if we ever, you know what? Instead of hashtag Sarah swears, Sarah can now say smooth-mouthed fumbler instead of what she normally says.
I'm not going to say that.
Please, for our anniversary, can you say that?
Okay, so next year.
Okay, I can wait. Now, Greyshade tells Strom not to worry since this was a preliminary match and Solo must still endure the main event.
What? This wasn't the main event yet?
Oh, this 6-part arc should have been 3 issues at best.
Yes.
All right, and there is the cliffhanger. And the next issue, as Han faces that challenge, Luke comes under the shadow of the Dark Lord, which is the title of the next issue.
Okay.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. So I guess from the gambling and the casino, now we're going to focus more on Luke and what's going to happen to him in the next issue.
I hope, probably.
And maybe a little thing with Leia there, too.
All right, so Sarah, give me your afterthoughts now.
Okay. So this issue to me is very much hills and valleys. You have, like at the very beginning, you have that fighter attack. That was exciting. And then you have kind of a valley with Strom and Greyshade talking. And then you had another hill again with Han and this battle of the Deathgame. So I that's what I kind of thought of it. It was very hilly. It was like a hilly issue. It wasn't very
It's a very Naboo issue.
Yes.
Very hilly.
Yes,
Rolling
indeed.
hills.
Rolling hills. I like it.
Oh.
Yeah, and so overall, I did feel that this issue was just yet another lead up to a bigger battle that we have yet to see. They keep on teasing us, and I'm starting to doubt that this big battle will happen in the next issue. In fact, with this, Luke and Shadow of the Dark Lord, yeah, I don't think we're going to get another big battle here. So I don't know. I'm a little annoyed with the storyline. I think, yeah, like you said, it should be a little shortened.
Now, this started off strong with another fake news rebel attack, which then the Empire has to go in and save the day. Now, I wish they would explore that. Explore the whole fake news aspect of this.
Okay, yeah.
And I wish that they would also explore how Strom and Greyshade turned the patrons of the wheel against the rebellion and then accepting the occupancy of the Empire. There's so much story there, and it's more of a device. But that's so much more powerful than the story that they're giving us.
Right, yeah.
But a 6-part story arc for kids, that's way too long. That's 6 months.
Well, speaking of kids, like, how would you have dealt with this issue as a kid? Do you remember at all?
No, because there were so many word bubbles.
Okay.
I just looked at the pictures, and I haven't opened up this issue in 41 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, too many word bubbles. Even for someone who was so invested in the Star Wars as I was. Yeah, I just couldn't do it.
Okay.
If they had littered the wheel's patrons with aliens that we knew from the cantina, I'd be more likely to read this.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I now look forward to the next issue where things pick up between Luke and Vader.
Okay, so it's definitely Vader coming? Because,
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Shadow of a Dark Lord.
Wow.
That can mean only one thing. Invasion.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay.
I was quoting the Phantom Menace.
A communications disruption can mean only one thing: invasion.
Oh, all right. We have a thread here on our YouTube comments. Jack Jones, why didn't Marvel ever do a story where the Rebel Alliance had to protect a planet from Galactus? Now, who's Galactus?
From Marvel. He's like the next big Thanos.
Oh my. Okay. So I think you need the Rebels and the Empire to team up in order to fight Galactus. Ooh, team up comic.
Oh,
Hey,
that's like Truce Epicora.
yeah. Oh, okay. The What If series, the What If Marvel series is coming to Disney Plus. I can't wait for this, you guys. We could get stuff like that. Although I don't think they'd cross over quite like that. No. But yeah. What
right.
if?
Now let's get into our favorites and non-favorites. All right, favorite line of dialogue. I'll go first.
Okay.
Greyshade, you smooth-mouth fumbler!
One of the very last lines of the comic.
It almost sounds like something Fred Flintstone would say.
Wow.
All right, so that's my favorite line of dialogue.
Okay. My favorite line comes on page 9, again with Strom and Greyshade, but this time Greyshade is saying, "So you see, Strom, that bunch may have come to the wheel for sanctuary, but all they've found is death." And I just thought that was just a very nice, well-phrased phrase. and very poetic.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that
All
that
right.
line.
Sounds good. All right. What is your favorite panel in this issue?
Okay. Well, can I see that, please?
Yeah. I'm going to hand you this while I look outside at someone who's knocking on our door, looking to preach some kind of new religion.
Oh, no.
They'll have to wait.
Yep.
We're into our own religion right now.
Hold on. Why is it?
Called Deathgame. You know what? While you're looking for yours,
Yes.
I want to go ahead and reveal my favorite panel of this issue.
I found it, though.
Hold on. The Watchful and Harmonious also said this arc needed more Jackson.
Yes.
You're here. For me, my favorite panel is on page number 4 of this issue, where Leia kicks the dinner table on top of Greyshade. And like I was saying before, you can tell it's a very powerful kick because there's a red and yellow explosion that's coming off of her foot. And she's leaning one way, and Greyshade is leaning the other way. Great composition.
Okay. Yeah.
And it really shows how powerful Princess Leia is.
I agree. I do like that panel. But similarly, Richard, even though Leia wasn't in this issue very much, my favorite panel also includes Leia. And it's on page 14, where she is finally busting out of her holding area with a great big zdack. And similarly, she's not kicking anything, but she's in a similar position where she's very almost horizontal to the thing. So yeah, we both loved our Leia panels here. She's just kicking butt.
Sometimes less is more.
Kicking Han's butt. Oh, I mean.
Well.
Not yet.
Maybe if she saw that butt in page 11.
Woo!
Oh, maybe she wouldn't be so feisty toward Han. Now, what is your most non-Star Wars moment or line of dialogue in this issue?
Okay, so I'm going to go to where Leia and Greyshade are talking at the very beginning. And there's just these lines that Leia says. As Will Administrator, I thought you'd fight the Empire's scheme to fake rebel attacks so they'd be justified in taking over this place and all the wealth it brings in. But that ugly charade we just witnessed proves you're going along with them. It's just very wordy, and it just does not sound like Leia's voice at all.
Well, you know what? Carrie Fisher always commented she had these big monologues of dialogue that she couldn't wrap her head around because no one talks like that unless you're the leader of a underground rebellion.
The destruction of the Death Star was a major victory for the rebellion, but our battle isn't over yet. Darth Vader and the evil forces of the Emperor still keep a strong... Sorry. Take 2. This is going to be fun. Take 2. Look what you give me to say. It's always like this. Why do you give me this ancient dialogue to say?
Yeah.
So she would have had a lot of good times with that one.
Okay.
All right. My most non-Star Wars moment or line of dialogue in this issue, ironically, it's when Strom says to Greyshade, Greyshade, you smooth-mouthed fumbler? What went wrong?
I almost think you should say you smooth-mouthed mother fumbler. Fumbler.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it would roll off the tongue better.
Yeah, anything's better than this. But
yes.
To me, ironically, it's my favorite line of dialogue, but it's also my most non-Star Wars moment or line of dialogue in this issue.
It makes sense. Yeah. I don't think we'd ever hear that in Star Wars.
Never again. All right, with that, let's move into Star Words.
Woohoo! Now, this was the letter column at the end of every issue.
I went into my collection of comics, easily opened up the Mylar bag and got my white cotton gloves, took the issue out of the bag, flipped open to the end of the issue where we had this column, Star Words, and I loved this particular letter someone had written in. Dear Marvel Gang. The writer starts off by praising Marvel, and then she continues, but I have one gripe. Every woman you draw comes out looking like a Charlie's Angel. Look at Princess Leia. You know what? This is very timely right now because Charlie's Angel is making a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Princess Leia in her turtleneck gown. Keep it respectable. Try to keep in my favorite Jackson and Amaza.
Oh.
Even if she is only half dressed.
Half undressed.
Half undressed, right. Yeah. 6-1.
And this is from Trisha Trozzi.
And what is her address?
Oh, it's 57 Annan Road, West Caldwell, New Jersey, 07066.
Yeah, I tried looking her up on Facebook. Yeah, couldn't find her either.
Oh, sad. Wow.
Yeah, of all the letters that people had written in, this one really struck a chord.
Yeah.
Because she's right.
Oh,
She's
absolutely.
right. All of these women, they're always half dressed, except for Princess Leia.
But even if Princess Leia is all the way clothed, you can see pretty much every muscle and
feature.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But she does say that Princess Leia is in a turtleneck and is very respectable. But
respectable.
But Charlie's Angels, they were always fully clothed.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah. Well, there were some beach episodes because you gotta pull the guys in, so they were always in these bikinis, and on their publicity posters are always in their bikinis. But in the show, I remember them always being dressed up. They had to infiltrate a country club, so they had to wear a waiter, or they had to go to a horse ranch, so they had to have all these layers of clothing on.
Okay.
If anything, maybe not have them look like Barbarella.
Right.
Something
yeah, there you go.
to that effect.
Yeah.
Or Cheryl Teagues. Cheryl Teagues?
What?
Hello?
I don't know.
Hello? All right. Jack Jones also says that Princess Leia doesn't have any underwear. Wait a minute. How do you know that?
The way she's drawn, I think. It's just the muscles that's drawn. So, yeah. Because I know this artwork when it's drawn, you kind of, your anatomy. So you like sculpt out the anatomy things first and then you kind of fill in the details. But yeah, so that's what they did with all the characters in these comics. It really shows.
All right, there's one thing we have to add in our show notes. The Watchful and Harmonious says on YouTube, Rich, we're the same age. And I bet you remember the old style Star Wars cards. The ones that came with the stickers? Wish I still had in my collection. I'm thinking about my Charlie's Angels cards. Oh. Because before I collected Star Wars cards, you needed something to collect, and they had Charlie's Angels cards. Oh. So I got Charlie's Angels cards, and I still have them.
You still have them?
I still have them. We'll have to add one of them into the show notes.
Yeah.
Maybe of them in their bikinis.
Ooh.
Little Farrah Fawcett action.
Maybe next Star Wars Marvel
Cheryl
Comics.
Ladd.
We'll have to share on our live.
Ooh.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to go find them.
All right.
All right. Well, wow. Well, this is kind of fun to go over. I love going over these issues with you, Richard. We want to thank everyone here for joining us on Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics, where we just went through Star Wars number 20, Deathgame. Now we're going to see everyone back for issue number 21, titled Shadow of a Dark Lord. Now, will they stick to that title? So far, they've been sticking to their cliffhanging titles, but we'll have to stay tuned and find out. Now, we want to thank Rob Dellinger for the awesome jingle for this episode. And please check out all the rest of the shows on the Skywalking Network. Including the Culture Popcast, Sabers and Spells, and Skywalking Through Neverland. You can find us all at skywalkingthroughneverland.com. You can also find us on social media. We are at Skywalking Pod for Twitter and Instagram. And we also have our Facebook group where we post a picture of these comic book covers and have you all comment on it. We love your comments. So search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland group and request to join.
Just to throw everybody off, post a picture of your favorite Charlie's Angels card in our Facebook group and don't even say anything.
That would be funny.
And we want to ask everyone to please go over there to iTunes or Stitcher and leave us a review. We always love to hear what you have to say. And give us many stars as you like. We just want to hear from you Skywalkers.
So for Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics, this is Sarah.
And this is Richard saying, you smooth mouth fumbler.
Zach!
I still couldn't say it right.
I know you couldn't. That's okay.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
See you next time. Shadows of a Dark Lord.
All right. Bye everyone, and thank you for turning on the notifications on our YouTube so that you guys see it. I love it. All right. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, angels.